Entrepreneur Academy, I wanted to share with you the only indicator that will tell how far you can take your clients, how far you can grow them, how far you can scale them. And it has nothing to do with their products. It has nothing to do with their service. In fact, it doesn't have much to do with their brand either, right? It's all about them as an individual. And I share this based off of experience. It's not some marketing hook that's gonna get you excited or anybody else excited about what it looks like. It's the ability for you to foresee what's possible with this individual client, right? And every individual client. It's their own insecurity. When you are working with visionaries, co-missioning with them, when you are working together with them so that you can implement, build, create, operationalize, systemize everything, their vision inside the organization, it's their own insecurity that's going to hold them back and you back from having success. You don't know how far or where their insecurity lid is, okay? You don't know where that is, but just know that it's going to be there. I had a client ask me earlier this year, said, hey, why did you stop working with this person? How long do you typically work with your clients? And I said, normally I'm working with my clients somewhere in the ballpark of 2 to 3 years. A few clients have been about 3 years. And they started to kind of ask me to unpack that. And what I recognized was an interesting pattern, is that as you start to work with clients, they have a really good understanding of everything that needs to be done. And that's amazing. It creates a ton of momentum. It creates a ton of growth. It creates a ton of success. But at some point in time, they have to start letting go of things that they weren't originally anticipating letting go of. If you have a client who's stuck in the day-to-day, most of your visionary entrepreneurs, CEOs, founders, they're going to be that. They're going to be stuck in the minutia, in the day-to-day, in the frustration, in this attitude of, this isn't what I created, right? This business is not serving the purpose that I wanted to serve, and I think it's the people's fault, right? And sometimes it is. But the reason they get there is because what they do is, the way that they grow is they hire one off. They don't have any vision for hiring as much as they have vision for the outcome, for the solution that they're bringing to the marketplace, okay? They don't have vision for the hiring, so they hire VAs. Or they hire EAs, or they hire consultants, or they hire a contractor on Upwork or Fiverr. They let family in, do things that they think they might be good at, or friends do that, or volunteers. And what it does is it's what we call the hub and spoke trap. It solidifies them into one place, and then it tethers them to all these people. And the reason that they're tethered, they're chained, because every single person is waiting on something to be told what to do. They're not being proactive. They're not taking initiative outside of the very specific responsibility that they have. That's what we call basic level of expertise. Once an intrapreneur comes in and you plug that hole, you remove them from the middle, and then you start to cut those ties, what you're going to do is you're going to start to empower those individuals. You don't come in and start firing everybody. That's a bad idea. Employees have a purpose, even contractors, and that ecosystem still has a purpose. It got them to where they're at. But you're going to start cutting ties, and you're going to start giving freedom to each of these individual parties. And there's some people who are going to rise up, and that's just the natural rhythm of growth. But what's going to happen, the control, the oversight, the micromanagement, though the visionary didn't like it at first, it gave them a semblance of identity. It gave them a semblance of comfort. When those things get tied off or pulled off or cut out, now all of a sudden, your visionary is wondering what to do. Now the good ones are going to lean in and move out into branding, sales, marketing, prioritizing the movement, prioritizing the business, prioritizing the ministry. They're going to focus outwardly, strategic partnerships, right? Speaking, books, things like that, high leverage activities. And that's all amazing news. That's fantastic. That's exactly what you want. But what happens is, the more and more and more you grow and you operationalize and you elevate the level of the skill set within the organization by identifying roles and responsibilities and encouraging an intrapreneurial culture, so that people don't just focus on their specific fiefdom that they're responsible for, but they look at the inputs. Who needs what I have? What do I need that other people are providing, and how can I help those folks? And what do other people need from me or my department or my product or my project that I can make better and create a faster, smoother, more streamlined handoff? This creates efficiencies that they're not ready for. They're not ready for that efficiency. And what happens is it starts to shine a light on their own ability to lead, on their own ability to grow and advance the vision. And this is where the insecurity comes in. Now, the best of the best are not going to feel overly insecure in this area, but you will come up against a lid. Okay, John Maxwell calls it a leadership lid. In this case, it's an insecurity lid. And you will not be able to navigate outside, above, around their insecurity. That will be the governor. That will be the ball and chain that holds that business back. Now, sometimes it's the unwillingness to try something new. It's the lack of belief that they can launch a high ticket or a super high ticket offer. Sometimes their comfort zone, this is really where insecurity kind of thrives, their comfort zone is such that they have, let's say it's a $10 or $12 million business, but it could be a $50 million business. The things that need to change in a 10 or 12 or $15 million business to get to 50 is 80% of the things need to change. But what really needs to go away is the insecurity of the visionary, of the visionary CEO or entrepreneur or founder. If they're uncomfortable with having other people lead, if they're uncomfortable with having other people launch and grow into new areas, and they're not the ones getting all the credit, and they're not the ones always being celebrated, and they're not the ones, and you get the pattern here. You'll never get the juice, the actual growth. They'll stop it before it can happen. So the answer to the question that I started with, which was, hey, why do people stop working with you? It's because we reach a level of their insecurity or security, whichever way you want to look at it. Because security could be, well, the business is generating 10, 15, $20 million a year. We're good. Somebody thinks they want a $100 million business. The things that need to change between those two, point A of 10 million and point B of 100 million, is so significant that it's the person who holds it back, not the team, not the offer, not the product, not the marketing. It's the person. So identify, ask the questions as you're evaluating new clients this quarter and this year, right? Where is their insecurities at? What's their vision really? Where do they really want to go? If they give you a big number, don't be surprised or in awe of this big number. Ask them why they want to get there. And what do they think needs to change at 3 or 4 different levels? If they're a $3 million business, how are they going to get to 10? What do they think needs to change to get to 10? How do they think they need to change to get to 10? What kind of leader do they need to become to be a $10 million business, to triple their size, to 10x their size, to 100x their size? It's not just about what can you do, entrepreneur, for my business. It's who can I be as a visionary to my business so I can let people absolutely express their talents, their abilities, their skills inside to make it grow. There's a cultural shift there that's important, and it's difficult to navigate because historically, the entrepreneur, the founder, the CEO, they're the ones with the answers because they're the ones who have more money. They're the ones that have more influence. They're the ones who have more something. But you have all the things necessary, every ingredient that you need, skills, talents, abilities, mindset, heart, to build the thing that's in their mind. If they could do it, they would. But they haven't. If they could get to the next level by themselves, they would, but they haven't. So to some degree, they've already acknowledged that they can't get to the next level alone. So they started hiring people. So we have to figure out what's holding them back at each stage. And once you recognize it's them, it's not you, unless there's an insecurity thing that you're dealing with, then it's time to work on that. When you work with somebody who has confidence and surrenders their insecurity and doesn't need to be the person that touches everything, you've got a really, really good formula. A great formula to help them not only launch new products, services, movements into new markets, but grow and scale at a proportion that's very, very, very unique, because some of the biggest names in the thought leadership, author, speaker space, they have a huge insecurity. They say that they want to change, but they don't want to change. Because people in general will only change based upon if the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of not, right? The pain has to be so significant for them to increase. And I can tell you this, if you're running a 10 or a 15 or a $20 million business, there's not a lot of pain. There's a lot of luxury, right? There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of momentum, there's a lot of energy. There's not a lot of pain. And the pain of staying the same, I think I'm saying that quote right. The pain of staying the same has to be excruciating to a point in which they're willing to surrender their insecurity to get to that next level. I hope that serves you today. Have a happy Friday, y'all.